Okay, my last video, which was a teardown video, I tore down the old TriCopter. I had mentioned that I needed to fabricate some pieces and parts. Well, this is what I've come up with. This is going to be my landing gear. These are probably going to be the wooden rails that go on the bottom of the landing gear, because these are going to be carbon fiber. But yeah, this is my vibration dampening system. I need to shorten these bolts, of course, and tighten them up. But right now, I'm going to have to disassemble everything. And this is the power distribution board that I've come up with. Basically, it sits down inside of there, on top of that. And these will sit on top of this. And what I did is I'm going to drill a hole right there. And my main power lead is going to solder there and there. And then this is going to come up here. And these two, this will solder here. This will solder there. And then these two will go over here, side by side. Leaves me plenty of room for my booms inside. Then I'm going to route this black wire to this side, this black wire to there, this red wire to this side, this red wire to there. And then the only thing I'll have coming out of there will be these three and my servo lead for my tilt rotor. And what I plan on doing when my booms are all in place, let me show you. When my booms are in place, there'll be 3 wires coming out of each boom. Like this. I'm going to solder some bullet connectors onto here to tie into that, and then a little push up about that far. All I want is somewhat hidden. It doesn't have to be 100%. This way here all my wires will be inside of my boom, and when it's mounted on here, then this one here, I think I'm going to loop it and then bring it into this side, and then this side over here we'll loop and bring it into the other side. And see, I got this one marked right and this one left, so this will be my right tied to this one, and this will be my left tied to this one. That way I have extra wire in here a little bit so that I can move them in and out and work with them. But once I get this all soldered down, I'll put double-sided tape to hold these in place. But to do all this first, I got to take this apart. I need to build my rails for this first before I tear it apart and get them in place. I figured I'd bend this over and epoxy these into the wood on 4 sides, 4 corners. That should be pretty strong. Then I'm probably going to put some foam around it, kind of like the rails on a helicopter. And anyhow, this is what I've come up with. So the battery, the control board, the FPV camera up above, and the gimbal down below. So it'll be like that. And it's plenty high enough with that landing gear. So I've got a lot of drilling, cutting. I got to disassemble everything. I got to make sure all my screws are cut to length, and then bolt it all together. And then basically all I need to do is wire up the control board. And what I'm going to do with that is these wires here, I'm going to put a hole in the top of this plate and a hole up here in front of the control board and bring all my wires straight up. And then I think my receiver is going to be right in front of the control board right here. Right in front of the hole. I'm going to build a control board is going to be center line back here. And I'm going to cut a slot, like 2 holes, and then slot it for my wires. And then I'm going to put the receiver right in front of it, I think, maybe. Or I might put the receiver down here underneath, because my antennas are going to be tied to this piece right here and here. It's got dual antennas on the receiver, so it's going to look like rabbit ears. But anyhow, I just wanted to make a short video, show you progress level. After I tear this apart and start soldering everything together, I'll go ahead and start doing some more. Once I get this drilled out and resized to make sure it fits that, then I'll go ahead and solder everything together, get all my holes drilled. That way I can hook up my main power to here, because that'll be one of the first things I want to hook up. So it's going to have to be mounted onto that plate. But technically, that's about all she is right now. And then later on down the road, I got to figure out how to... This is my swivel mount that I built, which works pretty well with my servo, and it all zip ties to the top of the frame here, like that. And what I'm going to do is, I got this from Flight Test, new swivel. And what I want to do is I want to mount that at a lower level, like there, say, so that the motor is not so high. Anyhow, that's the plan on that, and that'll be on carbon fiber boom as well. Everything will be carbon fiber when I'm done, except for the wooden rails that go on here. But technically, that's what I'm looking at. I just wanted to give you an update how far I've got and what's up next. Once I get this all tore down and get this board drilled and mounted, I'll go ahead and start soldering things together, and I'll do some more video. Yeah. And if anybody's got any ideas, send them on over. Put them in the comments. Something that would make it better. I mean, the only thing I can think of to make it much better would be to solder these in place, but then I'd have to, in case I have to change direction, that wouldn't be good, and I'd have to resolder. Once I get this closed up, I can't solder to these. I have to take that apart just to get to that. So I'm going to try to get everything soldered under here and done. The only thing that I am going to have to worry about is the rotation on the motors. And if I leave the bullet connectors on here, I'll be able to change that real easy. But anyhow, that's the progress for now. I hope you enjoy it. I'll do some more videos when I start getting stuff to mount. I'm getting stuff ready to mount. There's a few things I need to change. Like that screw right there needs to be a 440 instead of a 632. That way I got room in my boom for the wire. Because the 632 will take up too much space inside there. And these are the only two I got to worry about. They've only got 3 wires in them, so if I can squeeze a 440 in between there, I'll be good to go. Anyhow, that should do for an update. Update number 1.